In this video, we're going to learn how to solve problems involving algebraic proportion for your maths exam. After going through this video, I guarantee you that you'll be able to deal with problems involving direct and inverse algebraic proportion that involves x and y variable basically. Okay, so ensure you stay to the very end of this video because this kind of inverse and direct proportion problems is very important for your maths. So having known this, let's go into the details of the video. As usual, I'll give you guys a practice math question at the end of the video to test your knowledge on this topic. So let's begin with direct proportion question that involves algebra. Okay, let me get a question. Okay, so let's look at this question here. It says an object is moving with a velocity that changes proportionally with time. After 5 seconds, its velocity is 105 meters per second. How far will it be traveling after 13 seconds? Okay, before we go straight into solving this problem, let's look at how to represent variables proportionally. All right, now when they say y is proportional to x, basically what it means is y is proportional to x. So this is how you represent it. Okay, once you have represented it like this proportionally, you will then equate it to, you will then add an equality sign to it and put a constant. So this y is proportional to x will now be y equals x. So you add a constant word k. This is for direct and inverse proportion involving algebra. Alright. Whereas on the other hand, when they say y is inversely proportional to x, basically what you do first is to represent it proportionally. So it's going to be y is inversely proportional to x. So when you add the equality sign to it, you are going to have y equals the constants will now be up k over x. Okay, so very important you take note of this notation. All right, so having known these basics, let's go ahead and solve this question we have here. Remember, this is direct proportional question. Okay, so let's wipe this and solve this question what we have here. Okay, so for this direct proportional question, now you're looking for how far the object will be traveling after 13 seconds. So firstly, let's represent it using the direct proportional notation. So we are going to substitute x and y with v and t since we are dealing with velocity and time. So this is going to be velocity is directly proportional to time. So when you put it in equation or use the equality sign, it's going to be velocity equals the constant k is directly proportional towards time. All right, now let's get a constant. Very important. Now to get a constant, when our v is 105, so v is 105 meters per second, our t is 5 seconds. So when you substitute it in this proportional equation we have here, direct proportional equation we have, we're going to have 105 equals k times 5. Divide both side by 5. All right, so 105 divided by 5, so we're going to have it to be 21. Okay, so we have 21. That's the constant k. Okay, now to now find how far the object will be traveling after 30 seconds, since we now have the constant k, basically what we're going to do now is we're now looking for v. Okay, the velocity is removing after 13 seconds. Okay, so the v will now be our time. This time I want now will be 13 seconds. Okay, so since we know our k constant will now be 21 times our time the object will be traveling. So it's now be 21 times 13. So when you punch it on a calculator, it's going to give 273 meters per second. Okay, so that will be the outputs. The objects will be moving at 273 meters per second. Will be moving at this velocity when traveling after 13 seconds. Okay, so that's the answer to this question. Now let's wipe this and look at problem involving inverse proportionality. Okay guys, now let's look at this question. It says p is inversely proportional to the square of q when p equals 3, q is 4. Find an equation for p in terms of q. and find the exact value of Q when P is 8. Okay, feel free to pause this video and see if you can attempt this. Okay, let's do it together. Now, we're asked to find the equation for P in terms of Q. Firstly, let's express this using the inverse proportional notation. Alright, so it's going to be P is inversely proportional to square of Q. Okay, now when you add the positive sign, it's going to be P equals 1 over square of Q. Okay, now this 1 will not change to K. Okay, now to get a constant K, we are going to impute the values when P is 3 and Q is 4. So when you do, you're going to have 3 equals K over square of 4. Alright, so this is something as 3 equals K over 16. Okay, so you cross multiply. Here would be 16 times 3. You give us what? 48. Alright, so that means the equation for P in terms of Q will now be P equals 48 over Q square. Okay, so that will be the equation. Now, we have to find the exact value of Q when P is 8. Okay, so to do this, it's very straightforward. All you have to do now will be our P is 8. Okay, and we are looking for Q. Alright, so we have 48 over Q square. So when we cross multiply, we're going to have 8Q square equals 48. Alright, divide both sides by 8. Alright, so 48 divided by 8 is going to give us 6. Alright, so we have Q square equals 6. To make Q the subject formula, you square root both sides. Alright, that means our Q will now be square root of 6. And that will be the answer to this question. So that's basically what you have to know about direct and inverse proportionality involving algebra. Okay, hope there's something interesting from this video. Now, if you are new to the channel, check the description of this video below. You see a link to our Telegram channel. Click on it and join our Telegram channel. Also, ensure you are subscribed to this channel by hitting the subscribe button for more videos like this. Like, share, and comment on this video. Tell me how you feel from what I learned from this class. If you seem to have any specific question to ask regarding this topic under direct and inverse proportionality involving algebra, feel free to leave your question at the comment section below and I'll be sure to give you a response. That's it for this class. Now click on the end screen above and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.